Hello, and welcome to the Computer Electronic Accommodations Program, CAP, webinar on CAP's Wounded Service Member, or WSM initiative. My name is Michael Young, and co-presenting with me is Camila Montgomery.
Hello. The purpose of this webinar is to provide an overview of CAP's services for wounded, ill, and injured service members via the WSM initiative. We will address the scope of the WSM initiative, who qualifies for the CAP services, and how those services can be requested. We will also address specific products and services that CAP can provide. CAP was established in 1990 by the Department of Defense to be the department's centrally funded, meaning free, program to provide assistive technologies as workplace accommodations. In the year 2000, the National Defense Authorization Act granted CAP the authority to expand its services and to offer these same free services to the civilian employee of 68 other federal agencies. In 2004, CAP established the Wounded Service Members, or WSM initiative, with the goal to support wounded and ill and injured service members during their recovery, to equip them with the appropriate assistive technologies, and to empower them for employment, whether continuing on active duty, separating to continue their education, or to work either in the private sector or as a federal civilian employee. In 2006, the Department of Defense issued a DoD instruction, Assistive Technology for Wounded Service Members, which established roles and responsibilities both for CAP and for the Military Treatment Facilities, or MTFs. As a result, CAP has established and maintained a partnership with 53 MTFs throughout the United States and Europe. So who qualifies for CAP services under WSM initiative? Any active duty service member anywhere in the world with any qualifying condition. A qualifying condition is an injury or diagnosed illness that significantly impacts the service member's vision, hearing, dexterity, communication, or cognitive functioning. These limitations might result from a mortar round or an RPG. They might also be a result of a car accident, cancer, a sports injury, or a repetitive stress condition from an office setting. Examples of limitations that CAP can accommodate can range from blurred vision to photophobia to complete blindness, from minor hearing loss to tinnitus to deafness, from carpal tunnel syndrome or tennis elbow to bilateral amputations or quadriplegia, or from intermittent short-term memory loss to significant loss of memory to a loss of ability to communicate effective in written form, verbal form, or both. Remember earlier when we said CAP was established as a workplace accommodations program? That still holds true for service members. CAP can provide accommodations for the limitations that impact the ability to perform essential duty functions.
When an individual acquires a limitation or disabling condition, in most cases they are not aware of the tools that are available to accommodate them. CAP provides needs assessments to help determine the best tools. In communicating directly with a service member or a member of their rehabilitation team, we get information regarding the diagnosed injury or illness, but most importantly, we find out what are the specific limitations that the individual is experiencing. Different people can experience different limitations due to an illness or injury. For example, different people may have the diagnosis of vision loss or ocular trauma. We need to know, does the person experience spots of blurriness, spots of blindness? Are the spots stationary in their field of vision, or do the spots move around? Has the person lost part of the field of vision? Is it the lower portion, the right half, the left half? Does the person have a spot of blindness or blurriness in the center of the field of vision and can only see peripherally? Or do they have only a small center portion of clear vision? Does the person experience eye pain, headaches, or migraines as a result of light? Knowing detailed information about a person's functional abilities better helps us identify possible solutions. Sometimes CAP might request additional medical information, either to help us better understand the limitations or to verify an injury or illness that may not be obvious and apparent. CAP can help identify and then procure the tools that are reasonable and appropriate based on the person, the limitation, the duties to be performed, and the impact of the limitations on the ability to perform those duties. What are some examples of the assistive technologies CAP can provide? Here are some of the most commonly requested and most frequently provided tools. Please keep in mind that the items listed here, or the items you might see on CAP's website, are not the only items CAP can provide. For dexterity impairments, some individuals may be appropriately accommodated by having a different type of keyboard or a different type of input device that may change the angle or the height of their extremities when they're inputting information into the computer. Others may benefit from voice recognition software. This software allows the user to control any and all computer functions by using their voice. Individuals with vision loss may benefit from software programs that allow them to change the level of magnification, how magnification appears, and color contrast to all information coming from the computer. If a person has difficulty following the small white arrow on their screen, they can make it triple size lime green, or they can make it bright red with a circle around it. It can be customized to each user's needs. Some people with hearing loss may benefit from an assistive listening device, or ALD, and other personal amplification devices. These devices can be determined to be appropriate based not only on the individual's level of hearing loss, but where they are working, the type of environment they're in, and the type of background noise that may be present. Cognitive impairments, including traumatic brain injury, may be accommodated by memory cueing aids. If a person is mobile in their work duties, as are many service members, they may need to have the ability to be reminded of appointments and meetings on the go with them. If a service member's rehabilitation involves continuing their education, but they have difficulty interacting with written information, they may benefit from literacy software or the screen readers that can allow them to receive information from the computer in both visual and auditory formats. In short, the tools can be very customizable based again upon the person's need and the impact of the limitations upon their functional abilities. CAP's website, www.cap.mil, provides detailed information about CAP. Our WSM site, which you see here, is at www.cap.mil/WSM. This site has specific information about the WSM initiative, including the Department of Defense instruction, a link to the assistive technology demonstration videos, and, as highlighted by the red arrow, a link to our online request process. By clicking the Get Started Now button, service members or anyone supporting them through their recovery can request a needs assessment from CAP. Or, if they know the specific tools needed, can request those directly. CAP has produced a subsequent webinar on the WSM initiative, which takes you step by step through the request process. Thank you for your interest in CAP's WSM initiative and for accessing this webinar. If you have any questions or would like any information about CAP and CAP services, please contact us. Thank you.